Hello, bestie. This is a very relaxed Sunday girl talk. Okay, so get your glass of water, get your tea, whatever you're doing. You don't have to sit here. I really like that concept. You don't have to sit here and watch the video. I am, I look very relaxed. Right? I look very relaxed because I just had the most amazing day. I woke up. Actually, I had a very amazing evening yesterday. So yesterday I went out for a walk, and then like currently I am just really trusting in the flow of life and God and abundance and nature in the quantum field, like currently, like that's really the only thing that is my anchor. And I went out, and then I got a frozen yogurt. I sat a bit, and then I walked like through the area where people go out. Yesterday was Saturday evening, right? So I just wanted to go out for a bit, very relaxed. And then I walked, and then like I was typing something on my phone, and then I just looked over, and then there was my friend. Like I don't really chill with a lot of people because I'm very choosy and very picky who I surround myself with. I just want to be surrounded by the highest minds. I love an intellectual. I love a dreamer. I love somebody I can conversate with, right? Somebody I can learn with, and all of I have a very high quality of people that I only want to be around. That's just the level that I'm at, right? So this guy, he's definitely one of them. I really like to spend time with him every now and then. He used to be my personal fitness trainer, and this is how we started a friendship, a business partnership. Like we did many, yeah, things together up until now. And yeah, so we talked. And then I also I went to his house and we talked some more, and we had some nuts, and we just talked, and we just dreamed off and spaced out, and it was so good. Then I walked home. Like he doesn't live far from me, so I walked home, and then I woke up in the morning, and I had a appointment or like a date with my friend for yoga in the gym. So we went for yoga, then we went to take a coffee, and we had some fresh pressed juice, and we talked a little in the sun. Like now it's the 1st of September. The sun is still shining, like the kind of last days, hopefully not of summer. Yeah, so that's it. I'm just telling you, like I had a very good evening and morning. And then I came home, like cleaned the house, prepared some nice food, and now I'm here. So that's the Sunday, okay? That's just literally the very relaxed Sunday. I hope you had a beautiful time as well. And today I want to talk to you about many things. It's going to be very random. I'm just allowing myself to be very random, just as I would with my friend. And the thing is, what I want to say here, like something I want to highlight, is that I realize that the space that I'm creating here, this is already the space that I myself have wanted. And I want to invite you to be in the space where you hear the things, where we speak about things that you are maybe not yet experiencing with the people around you. Right, maybe you know me, like if you're new here, welcome to another episode of Healing into Femininity. It's me, your host, Joanna, and I'm your holistic wealth bestie. So what I realize is that I am talking to the kind of woman that I am. And I am like, we're talking eye to eye, right? I can show you a few things on how to create a business, how to create a 5-figure business, how to create the life of your dreams, definitely, like create a blueprint, the design of the life of your dreams in all areas of your life, your mindset, your emotional mastery, like really manifestation skills on a quantum level. That is my mastery. That is really my mastery. And I'm going to just talk a little bit here and there about other things as well, because everything kind of ties into that. And one thing that I realize is that I have actually been ready for YouTube, or I have been ready for a bigger stage for a long time. But what I didn't realize was that it's not about me presenting something because I'm actually tired of this. Like I come from sales and I come from network marketing and things like that. And somehow, like when I started back then, like I think I have been in this kind of mindset or industry for 10 years. And when I started, I was probably still in a like getting mindset, right? Like I wanted to get clients, or like I always know that it came from a very pure perspective, like a pure intention within myself, but I had to work through a lot of stuff. But now I feel like, okay, like that's the thing that I'm creating here, first and foremost, is for me. And I know that this is the best intention that I could have, because first and foremost, it's a place for me where I am voicing my authentic truth. And this is about the level up, right? Everybody's using that, but it's about really leveling up, being healthy. I'm a nutritionist, so I will be probably sharing more about that too, right? So, about health, about mental health, emotional health, energy work, about relationships, all of the failures I had in relationships and where I am at this point. Um, Also about, yeah, how to find your passion and create a business out of it, and the business that you like running, and of course money. Like these are my favorite topics, all of them, and these are like the topics of life, right? So what I realized is that, as I said, like I have been in this kind of sales, direct sales presentation industry for a long time, and I felt like I had to convince people, or it's hard. And then in the beginning of this direct marketing thing, most of the time you start with people that you know, right? So I started with people that I know, and then I realized like some of the people that I knew, they weren't really into it. Like I still like the concept. So something happened in me, right? Because what I'm declaring today is, if you're feeling this, if you're watching this, you are her, right? You have been for a while, right? For a while, you have been a beautiful woman that was concerned of taking care of her beauty, working out, looking pretty, taking care of all the things, right? The skin, the hair, the nails, and things like that. So this is just a byproduct, right? I don't really talk about those things too much, but I will probably also, because I just think, yeah, that's just what we do, right? That's just what we do. Like it was kind of unconscious that this is just what we do, right? So, but now there's this huge industry. Everybody is talking about those things. I love it. So that's what we do. But the real work that I was interested in was the spiritual work, right? The spiritual work in terms of really understanding human nature, understanding human psyche, understanding spiritual hygiene, right? Designing the life of your dream, manifesting the life of your dreams, and then really going even deeper into energetics, right? Intention, transformation, manifestation, and really gaining some knowledge on those things like health, and then relationships, human psychology, what humans need, abundance, and how to create abundance and money, right? And then also the universal laws, and really the intellectual way of understanding magic. That's how I would call it, right? I think that's also something that I bring naturally, is like I have my black side, and my black side is really interested in like the deep black things. Like I'm very interested in voodoo. I'm very interested in like spiritual principles like Ifa, like African spirituality, things like that. And at the same time, I love Jesus. I love Jesus. I kind of chose Christianity when I was 13. I got baptized. I just decided that I wanted to get baptized with I don't know how many inch heels. So funny. Like I've always been that very free spirited, sexy a little girl, interested in spirituality, God, and power. And that's still what I am. And what I realized, again, like I know it's a very long intro, but what I realized is that I have been her for a long time, and people have seen that in me for a long time, right? But I somehow didn't dare to show up fully in front of nobody, probably because I have learned to be such a chameleon, because I have all these sides to me. and I can adapt very good, but to really share all of me, that was still a struggle because I feel like my all is very wide ranged. And many people, that was my perspective, but I feel like I've overcome that too. But I felt kind of subconsciously that people will reject me for all of me, right? That's what we all think. People will reject me for all of me because I am. Like that's one thing that I saw how it is when people, like, you connect with people. Like, I can always find something to connect with people. Like, I see people and then I just feel into it when I want to. Like, most of the time I don't want to, but when I want to, I can easily connect with people, whether it be through whatever they do. I'm very curious, so I like to listen to people and their professions, and I think I like to, like, suck out their information, like, not in a negative way. I think people love to give that to me. They love to speak about their passions, and I love to hear about people's passions. So this is one way. But then it is kind of like, okay, I show this part of myself, and at the same time, I am like, I can talk with you a highly intellectual talk, and at the same time, I can be like, okay, oh, there's music going, let me dance, right? If it's appropriate. Let me dance. Let me be more sexual, sensual. Um or speaking to people about volunteering and changing the world for the better, working with people. That's my thing. I love people. I love helping people. I love empowering people. And at the same time, I love money. I love conscious capitalism. Like, I love receiving the value for my work, not only for my work, actually, at this point in my life, for my energy, because I know that a highly calibrated person, and that is, if you do your inner work, you're going to clear, and you're going to do mental hygiene, like you're literally clean from the inside out. You're going to do mental hygiene where you watch your thought process, and when you clean out the thoughts that don't serve you, that block you, limiting beliefs, things like that. It's a way of life, right? It's an ongoing process. So it's a way of life to do this mental hygiene. I believe the even bigger part of hygiene, like energetic hygiene, is emotional hygiene. So where you really release all the negative emotions like jealousy and envy and shame and guilt, and I don't know if doubt is an emotion, but like all these things that keep you split, all these things that keep you separate. And that's literally what it is. It is called it's a spiritual awakening, but it's also becoming whole, right? It's like you can call it spiritual awakening and then spiritual purification, where the spirit within you, your soul, yeah, the God part in you will awaken and be like, okay, like, the human part, you have been sleeping. Like, you are not living in alignment with your own nature, with your greatness. So let me come wake you up. That for me is a spiritual awakening. And most of the time, the spiritual awakening is when you hit some big health issue or a financial issue, when you realize, boom, it's a wake up call, right? It's a wake up call, and you're like, shit. I haven't I haven't really been conscious in this way, right? Whether it be your health, as I said, or with a relationship, with a divorce, then because we're afraid to follow our intuition, we let it come so far. The same thing with finances or with a job. Most of the time, we only change when there has been some pain inflicted, right? So I had my spiritual awakening. Yeah, I feel like I have been spiritually awake like all the time, but there are levels to it. Definitely. Like, I have definitely not always been here. Like, let's be real. Um, I told you before, I had an abusive relationship. Like, one of my first love hit me. I allowed him to hit me. Yes, I had some daddy issues, definitely. Um, there was the only time, but then later on, I don't even know. I think later on I didn't have. that kind of negative things. But what I want to say is that it's levels to it, right? Levels to the awakening process and levels to coming into, and this is a main point I want to talk to you about today. One thing is really being like, I am here and I'm not valuing myself, even though, like, let me speak for me, right? Even though I have literally invested all this time into my education. I know it's not all like you can still value yourself if you have um yeah, if you don't necessarily have a formal education, but I'm talking to you and I know you have, right? You're my girl and I know exactly who I'm talking to. You're educated, you have a university degree most of the time, definitely, or any kind of other formal education. You are a boss. Yeah, whether you are in 9 to 5 or you are self-employed, you're definitely a boss of your own life. You make the decisions, like you don't ask nobody for permission. You make your own financial decisions, like you don't have to ask your boyfriend or your husband for anything, really. Like, not like, hey, can I do this? You know why I'm saying that? Because I used to have, like, I had this business mentor, and like he marketed to a specific kind of woman, and I didn't feel at all that I fitted. So this is the things we learned along the way. It was quite a bit of a sum of investment. So I felt like, what am I doing here? Like, I am not the target group at all. So I felt very lost and confused because he constantly said that the ladies there, like most of them, they asked their husband for the kind of investment. But like I have, like, to this point, I have probably already invested like 70,000 euros into my personal development, into coaching, into mentorship, into programs and things like that. So I never asked anybody, only God, you know? So I was like, okay, that's a mismatch. So I'm saying all of that literally also to qualify you, and if that's not you, you can kindly also leave the channel, of course, or you can stay and become her. But like, I'm really talking to my peers here, right? You're that girl. So what I want to say, go back to the education thing. I have invested all that, and that's a big thing for many women. Many women who have some kind of trauma, most of the time something with the men, with their father figures in their lives, or some kind of relationship to men and money. It's a very, very tied together. You are this high achieving, intelligent, beautiful, ambitious, like active woman, and you still don't see your match, like your inner powerful masculine. Let me tell you something. I want to go a little deeper here. This is what the individuation process is about. Like, if you as a woman, you know you're a bad bitch. You know that. And you're not triggered by the word because you know, like, you took it and you transformed it. Like, you're that girl, right? So you are her, and you're killing it in whatever you decide to play the field. You're doing it, and you're always making the best out of it. And yet there is something missing. Yet there is some place inside of you where you are a people pleaser, where you are not playing full out, where you are not attracting the kind of relationships, or the relationship maybe with the partner, with the monogamous high value man. You are not making the money that you know that you can make. You are playing small. You are not really honest. Like, you're not being your full authentic self. That's literally what it is. I always see a picture like that. So our whole personality is this. That is our whole, not only personality, our self, right? The self is everything, right? We have the self, and then we have the higher self, right? Then we have the lower self, and we have the conscious self. And we are the self. And then there is the subconscious, which is the shadow, right? And then there's the conscious, which is what you are aware of about yourself. You have the subconscious, and then you have the superconscious. The conscious is what you have learned to be. Nice, funny, maybe a little performative so you could be loved, right? And then you have this whole part inside of you that is the shadow, and this part is more a part of you that is societally shunned, right? Where depending on which society you grew up in, or also like morally shunned by religion or religious groups, or yeah, then also by yourself or by your parents. So that is a part of you that you suppress, like you don't openly speak about it because you know that it will create a negative reaction. You follow me, right? So this is what you keep kind of hidden, probably also from yourself. Yeah. So that's the whole thing about becoming conscious. I am someone I like to talk about those things because I know it is therapeutic for me. And I really know that if you find this here, it's going to be therapeutic for you too, because that's a girl talk, right? That's what we do. Like, that's what we exactly need to do to be in these spaces. So, to become conscious of the unconscious part is literally about daring to kind of be exposed to different scenarios where you can match the scenario with your darker self. So for example, when I found like this network marketing thing, I loved how open they spoke about making money and things like that. I loved it. I loved it, and it burned, like it ignited a fire inside of me, and I was like, yeah, I want that too. Like between that person and me was this safe space of communion. And that's why I'm speaking to you too, because I know how healing that can be, right? Just it's this person, the person says like, that's what it is. Like, I've always been like a real talk person, right? So that person says like, that's what it is. Like, we're making this money, like this is where we're going, innovation, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, yeah, I love that. But then when I went out to recruit new people, everybody was having like these doubts, and like they didn't believe in themselves and things like that. So this triggered me. And what I realized there, it's called trigger ping pong. This is what happens when people are unhealed. Like, I am unhealed, that other person is unhealed, and then we continue to trigger each other back and forth. Like, I say something, the person kind of reflects back to me my shadow, and I'm then hurt, or I feel like I'm rejected, and I am in this spiraling, downward spiral. I'm like questioning myself. Am I wrong for wanting to make money? Am I wrong to wanting to be powerful? Am I wrong for wanting to be that bad bitch? Like, am I wrong for talking that big talk? This is actually what happened for me, like when I was on this journey of becoming powerful already, like for the past 10 years, right? So I really had to talk to, this is the healing aspect. Like, I had to be in rooms with other powerful women who are like powerful on all levels. Also, let's be real. There are all kinds of women, and again, like, I love, like, I have so much love, but I'm also, or at the same time, I'm also going to be very real. So this channel and this like my message is really for the baddie who has it all and who wants it all. Like, you want to be beautiful, right? According to your own beauty standards, right? I always say, like of course you have whatever shade of color you are, whether it be like pale or dark skin, black. I love everything. And you got to love you too, right? Like, you were given something, so work with it, right? So you become the highest version of yourself. That's what it's literally about, right? So whatever like body type you are, like everyone has a different body type. Like, I don't want to become somebody completely different. I'm going to make the best out of me. So the same thing with you, right? So we are constantly seeking things like beauty tips, beauty hacks, like the kibi body type, like the face structure things, like makeup for lids, like what is it called? Like the lids, right? So like the people having the same shape face as me, hair, we want to become the best version of ourselves looking good, right? That's why for me, I can come on here. I am not made up. Like, I'm not dressed up. I haven't put makeup on because it's a Sunday. Like, really, That's just me. And I feel like we don't have to be perfect if we actually do the work, right? Like my hair, I just feel pretty enough to be here. Um, so that's what we want. We want to be pretty. We're working on ourselves, right? We try to be as healthy as possible, whatever it is. Like maybe you want to be super strong, maybe you're okay with being a little curvy, everything is fine. Like I believe a confident woman, like 100%, a confident woman, and this is also something that I've always had that, right? I've always had that. Like, I've always, like, all of my friends have always only been confident women. Like, all of the women who, like, were really close friends from my teenage years until now have been powerful women in their own right. Right? Like we have kind of separated ways. Some of us we're still friends, but they were all queens in their own right. So I'm used to being with only baddies. Like that's just the kind of woman that I want to be with. And that is what I'm inviting you to. Like if you are a baddie and you haven't had the tribe, welcome, right? So you want to be beautiful in your own right. Again, it's not about necessarily following any beauty trends. It's not about following any body image things. You're making the best out of you, and whatever you want to do, you can do it, you know? So, fine. The same thing, you're a genuine person. You are genuine. Even if I speak about being a bad bitch, or if I speak about being being real, right? Being honest, which kind of cuts through. Um, I'm still like my heart is so pure. I know that. Like my heart is so pure. I want the best for everybody. And that's why I am so clear. Like I'm so cutthroat honest. And I've noted, like, I know that I wanted that for myself in friends as well since I was very young. I used to say that I'd rather have a friend who will tell me that I have a burglar like on my nose instead of that person letting me walk out into public with that, is it called burglar? So funny. Yeah, on my nose. I think that's not a friend, right? A good friend will tell you, girl, you need to lose some weight. Like just recently, one of my clients, she asked me one thing. She was like, tell me something, like tell me something what I don't see, like a blind spot." And then I told her, I think it's time for you to level up your appearance, right? It's time for you to level up the way you do your hair and just the way you present yourself to the world. And yeah, but that I know she is the kind of woman because first of all, she asked the question. And then second of all, like she is that kind of person. Like I have worked with her. She has almost invested like 10,000 euros into the programs working with me, or even more, even more. So she's that woman. Like she wants to grow, she wants to be that boss, right? So I love this kind of woman, and that's you. Like that you're like, oh, I'm looking for somebody who is honest, like who will tell me what I need to work on, whether it be the mindset or the physical appearance, or maybe other things that you have to expand upon in order to be the woman in the societal position that you want to be, because it all ties in together. Like you working on yourself will create a position in society for you as well, guaranteed, because as within, so without, right? So, and of course, again, speaking about money, I'm still speaking about the thing that I have been that woman. Like it's a holistic concept. It only makes sense, right? Like this was a no-brainer for me even before I became a coach. And I just wanted to become a coach so I can really understand and really help people also transform. So I currently, like I have worked with this system for 7 years. It has always created results for everybody, and it has created results for like tens of thousands of people all over the world, not only used by me, but it's a really a proven system created by my mentor. So I'm leaning on that. So what I want to say is that I believe that there are not enough people on the internet that are speaking about the holistic level up and what we actually really talk about in those spaces. Because yes, like the society is trying to tell us, like right now, we're like the kind of society that is forming with all this gender equality, which I'm fully for, right? Like I'm fully for gender equality. But I mean, like this whole gender thing, and then social equality and things like that. I think it can kind of get messed up. This is also something that I realized when I was a participant with Miss Germany. When I was at Miss Germany, I was like, okay, like I kind of didn't have my mission very clear, to be honest, because at that time I was still doing many things and I couldn't really tie it together the way I can today. So I went to Miss Germany, and then what I realized was that they kind of wanted like a little bit of this victim story, like, oh my God, like she's a single mother and now she's being that badass. Yeah, being a single mother is maybe not the most privileged position, but I don't want to be portrayed as like some kind of a victim before I can create the hero story. Like something in me didn't like it. Today I understand it from a marketing standpoint, but what I really want to say is that what I realized was that I saw the people who are like creating this platform is a bunch, and no shade, like respect to you guys, but a bunch of rich, privileged white kids who probably don't have any diversity in their close friendship group. Yeah. Now they want to pull off this whole concept of this transformed Miss Germany concept. And I didn't feel it. Like I really didn't feel it. It was a very amazing experience for me to realize what I'm about to say. But what I realized is that, come on, guys, you know that until this point, the world has been white dominated, male dominated, capitalistic, and so on and so forth. Now you want to give platforms to other women, which I appreciate. But what is missing for me, maybe like I'm just getting it out, but maybe what is missing for me again is the honesty about not only being like, you can do it too, as a, for example, fat girl, for example, yeah, but saying you might be fat and we love your story, but honestly, the same kind of stereotypes that have been, they're still going, like with some variants. I hope you can still follow me. So the thing, what I mean is, it is generally still more accepted in spaces of power and privilege and money that you are well kept. Let's say that you're taking care of yourself, that you look good, whether whatever, you're black, white, whatever. Yes, this maybe white standard has been super skinny. Now there's a Beyonce. Then there is now a Kim Kardashian. Now then there's a Lizzo. I just recently saw that Lizzo is losing weight. So nobody wants to be fat. And I think we're doing people a disservice by pretending that being fat is okay. Yes, it's okay when you want to lose weight. Like you don't have to hate yourself. You can only love yourself out of this place. But you know what I mean? I was lacking some clarity around what is actually really going on, and the world is probably never going to change because I believe there are so many generalizations here, but again, it's just a rant, okay? I'm saying this with the purest heart. But what I want to say is that the world will never change in terms of really what is powerful. I believe there's a democracy that is going on, which is super, because I believe, and I believe that is God consciousness, like that is Christ consciousness. This is God consciousness. Every human being is powerful. If everyone realizes their potential, they will thrive. That's what I believe. I believe that a world like this can exist. I don't believe in the hierarchical system that is built upon exploitation. No, I believe that we can create a win-win situation, a conscious economy, a conscious capitalism And this goes hand in hand with every skin color, any ethnicity, every culture. If you have, and we're not there, I know it, but if you teach people how to really think, how to emotionally regulate, that's what I do in my coaching, in my programs, and how to gain skills in order to become valuable on the marketplace, that is what I believe will change the world. Absolutely. And then really people knowing their prices, and then there's an exchange. And this is also what I'm teaching in my programs. It's really about finding your worth, your self-worth, and then also creating an awareness of the value that you bring to other people, also on a market worthy value. So one thing that I can say is that if you come into my world, you will definitely make more money after leaving, because you will have found your self-worth. And we will also discuss the prices of what you bring, the transformation that you bring, and how much money or how much time it's going to save someone else. Right? This is what people want. People either want more value, like knowledge, product, or whatever, or they want time saved, right? Time saved, effort saved, so they can live more of their most beautiful life. Okay, but what I want to say, what I want to continue with is that continue coming back to authenticity. This is the girls club here. And my suggestion is that we call this club the Healthy Body Club. That is what I want. Are you down? Are you a healthy body? Like healthily, holistically healthy body. Maybe that's too long, but that's kind of that's my intention. Mentally healthy, emotionally healthy, financially healthy, psychologically, which is mentally, right? But really becoming a full spectrum human being, and therefore living your soul, because that's what it is, right? I do believe in enlightenment, and I do believe that I am enlightened, and I do believe that other people are enlightened too. Enlightenment is not this ultimate thing where you get to. This is where I disagree with other people. I believe enlightenment means, of course, there are levels of enlightenment, right? Like ultimate enlightenment, I think you have to become God in order to be fully enlightened. But I think you can be enlightened as a human being by having this awareness of self, mastery of self, and actually really looking onto who you are, full spectrum, like your light side, the things that you like to share with the world. And that's what I'm doing here, right? I am actually sharing with you not the perfect version of myself. Like I'm sitting here, no makeup, not particularly dressed up, right? And I'm still sitting here telling you even very private stories, and also things that I know that I might be judged for. And this is exactly what I help you do too. You don't have to. I know for me, it can be a little bit too much information, but I know I love it. I personally love those spaces. I loved the space that my coaches provided me, because this is the kind of conversation that you have with a coach behind the scenes, right? They will be like, okay, I'm going to help you in the front and everything is super shiny and cute. But when you come behind the curtains, it's real talk. It's real talk, and it's about prestige, it's about power, it's about imaging, right? It's about creating an image, which I think is beautiful and perfect. And at the same time, if you've once had looked behind the curtain, it is good, it works absolutely. And at the same time, you then realize it's like a spell. I don't want to say I'm above it. No, I don't even want to be above it. I think it's part of the game that you present yourself in a good manner, so people can check out like who you are and how they perceive you, right? If you present yourself in a luxurious way, people will be like, okay, that's the kind of person that she is. And at the same time, a person that lives like an like a advanced or an expanded mindset, that lives travel and culture and art and like fine dining and high level conversations and good literature and working out and energy medicine and taking care of the kind of clothes that she buys, maybe from whatever. Maybe some people, and that's also the thing, some people buy like high end fashion. Some people look at more organic things, which is also expensive, you know? So yeah, people want to be categorized. Like that's just how people work, right? And at the same time, that girl, she will have a dress down Sunday. You understand? Like I don't have to sit here and have a full face of makeup and have like a Chanel bag in the back, which I don't have, to be honest. Like I don't have a Chanel bag. But like I don't have to do that or even have like the Chanel and Yves Saint Laurent and whatever Gucci books in the back, which I don't know shade. But this is all the subliminal programming, and that's totally fine. And at the same time, I know these kinds of people, and they're just like me. So I just want to let you know that you're also just like me. Maybe the only thing that you want to learn and you want to expand into is to actually feel it. And I said it before, you will be transformed by the level of investment that you allow yourself to make in yourself. Let me be real. Let me be real. I know this is all over the place, but I'm dropping gems upon gems. It's a secret talk. Um, what I realized, the first investment I made into my personal development thing, like besides the certification of my nutrition thing, I think this was around 4,000 euros. Then after that, I invested into a coaching course, and then I directly invested into becoming a coach, like the coach certification program. And it was $12,000. And at that time, I didn't even have a place like to my name. Like I didn't have an apartment. And I actually kind of like was at the end of the job that I was doing, but I had faith. I knew this is what I wanted, and I didn't want to wait any longer. So I just took action. And I know you're the kind of person too, like maybe you have invested in programs before, but you are still in a lack mentality. Maybe you didn't have like an amazing, well-rounded coaching experience yet. And I want to change that. Like if you're up for another amazing coaching experience, come over here, honey. But the money wasn't wasted for you. Like it was definitely still a good experience where you feel like, okay, I didn't need that. Sometimes those are the things that we need as well to realize like that's not for us. Um, but what I want to say is that, yeah, that's the only thing to realize that you are that person already. As I just said, it is about daring to show all of who you are. And we need a reflection. We need someone else who can unlock that potential within us, unlock that shadow within us, like take away the programming, right? The subconscious deep rooted programming, take away the shame, the fear, the guilt, the doubt, the shame, those things, right? Really, like it's about being unapologetically you and unapologetically human. God loves you the way you are with your humanity and your divinity, and just knowing that the world needs the real you, like the fully authentic version of you with everything that you offer, and just yeah, just you, who you are. And one thing that has kept me stuck from coming on here, whether it be dressed up or like this, it is really about the energy, right? I am doing my best to not pretend like I'm someone else, right? I really want to share with you who I am, what I have experienced, in which circles I have had the privilege of running, what kind of people I met. Like as I just said with this Miss Germany thing, meeting millionaires and men with money. I want to say something, and I think that's going to be the last thing for tonight. Let me take a sip of my lemon water. You might want to take a sip as well. Mm. So refreshing. I love it. I put the glass in the fridge so the water could be even cooler. Yeah, so what I want to say is that it is really, that's what it's about. It is about doing the inner work, healing the trauma. Yes, healing the trauma, um, learning emotional intelligence, emotional awareness, emotional mastery, learning mental hygiene, becoming disciplined, becoming the person that you has her shit together, right? It doesn't have to be all the way. Sometimes it can be messy, and most of the time it will be. Like, I'm not pretending that everything is perfect, but everything is perfect, right? Because I can handle it. And it took me, probably it really did take me, the death of my father, who passed away this year in March. It took the death of my father to realize that I am like really on a physical level. Like, even though I had this in my mind, I was still living the life the way I wanted it, but I am a speaker. I have to use my voice, right? So I had to live my life through my voice. That's why I'm here, right? I do what I want, and I have been doing what I want for the longest. Um, but I haven't shown it publicly. And it doesn't have to be that for everybody, but I feel like that is my purpose. Like, that is my purpose, to publicly share this is who I am, with my story, with my background, with my dad, with my mom, with being mixed, with my childhood, with my youth, with my education, with my personality, and then with the story of transformation, right? So what I want to say is that you have to come to this point where you really feel like, I want to be free. And freedom, also financial freedom, starts with this internal decision of, I want to be free. I want to be free in my mind to think whatever I think. I think Corona helped us all to kind of figure out, what do I really think, or do I think everything that the rest of the pack thinks? Okay. I am not, I didn't get vaccinated. Just want to tell you that as well. So I realized, okay, like, I know, like, for me personally, I know who I am. I know, like, my tribe. I know the people that I surround myself with. Like, I love health. That's my thing. And I have been into health even before the whole Corona thing came. So this was like, okay, this is what's happening on this planet. Interesting. So and this is what happened. This is what I did. Instead of starting this YouTube channel in like 4 years ago, I waited 4 years. Crazy, right? But somehow I was afraid, or maybe I wasn't ready. Divine timing, everything is okay. But instead of just sharing my personal opinion and daring to say, like, I'm the opposition, or that's my opinion, and even if you are vaccinated or whatever, like, we can still be friends. Yeah, but that's just the perspective that I hold. Yeah. So I want to say that it is about realizing, with my dad's passing, that it is my life, right? And I want to, this has been a very deep urge as well. And I feel like this might also be going on in you if you're here. The deep urge is that I like me. I really like who I am, with everything that I am, with every flaw, so-called, every imperfection, so-called, right? Everything that is not necessarily seen as whatever perspective. Oops. Okay. whatever perspective you come from, whatever like narrative, if it's more of an Eurocentric narrative or more an Afrocentric narrative of more of a pop culture narrative. I am definitely influenced by pop culture. If you are here, you are too. Like you like social media, you clicked on my video, I'm sure you like pop culture and social media. So I am definitely influenced by pop culture, by hip hop, by R&B, by soul, by this whole Black music world, African music, uh, all of that. Like that's my thing. Like especially music, not so much movies, to be honest. I still have to do a lot of catch up, and I want to in terms of movies, but I'm definitely influenced by music and this whole culture around music and fashion and celebrities, also being honest, right? So this beauty standard has influenced me, this lifestyle standard has influenced me, and I also naturally gravitated towards that. I think I said it before. I have dated like people like A-list celebrities here in Germany, but also like diplomats' children. I've been on a private uni, things like that. Like I'm not only saying that to brag, but I'm just this is part of the what I want you to invite. I want to invite you to tell your story as well. I want to invite you to be free, sharing your amazing life, sharing the parts of your life that are amazing, daring to say, I love money and I want to do whatever I want with it. I love being beautiful. And yes, I will spend my money on everything beauty from the inside out, from the hydrocolon therapy. That's all. That's I have invested so much money into my internal. Like I can't really say that now. All the money coming in at this point, I am using it to build externally. But until now, like let's say for the past 10 years maybe, I have really invested like all this money into my internal, like from the mindset, the spiritual work, but also colon hydrotherapy where you like clean out the gut and the gut and the intestines. I've done that. I have taken like bacteria. I have like probiotics, and like I have fasted. I have been like drinking like the most energetic high vibe water. I lived in nature. Like I used to live when I did the t the course on holistic nutrition. I lived at this retreat hotel. I love that. I loved it so much. And I walked out bare feet. That was my nature time. I am still that girly. You see how multifaceted I am, and I believe you're too, right? So maybe up until now, there hasn't been a box for it, right? Being this barefoot walking nature lover, colon hydrotherapy, um, sauna, sweating, sweat lodge. Um, I'm that girl too. Like I'm the spiritual capitalist. Love it. Love it. If you love this video, please tell me your story. Write me an email. Share a love. Like this is so me. Let's get it. And I want you again, I want you to get to know me, and I want you to be that girl too. So like all of that wealth stuff, but I also I think I told you I had like two mushrooms trips on this on the up until now, and I don't really plan on doing another one, but I really enjoyed them. I had an ayahuasca retreat. I really enjoyed it. Like the ayahuasca thing was, I just felt love. And the mushroom trip was, I had like an outer body experience. I loved both of it. So I am this spiritual experimentalist. Yeah. So I did all like so many things on my body, infrared therapy. Um, yeah. And just recently, I don't know if I told you, but just recently, last week, I had we could call it maybe a Reiki session. The woman, I'm a speaker too, so I live in Germany. If you care, if you are in Germany, I speak fluent German, and if you are interested in working with me, like, and your English, maybe you understand English, but you don't really express yourself in English, you can always work with me in German as well. Okay. So, um, this woman, she was so cute. She corrected my spine energetically. So that means like most of us, we have like a crooked spine that makes our hip be out of whack and makes our legs be like different length. Like most people have that, right? I had it too. So I knew exactly I wanted to like you like work with her, and I had a beautiful session with her. She invited me into her home, and this is what I want to say. Like, I am constantly investing into those things like energy readings. Energy reading, I don't even know if I invested in it, but I think this was an energy reading. So she corrected my spine, and then she also like she prayed for me, and she did some energy work on me. So beautiful. I that's the type of things I invest into. I have been an entrepreneur for a while. Like, I also, with my mom together, we had a vegan cafe. I don't know if you knew, this is also what I did. So I have been doing things. I have been doing things. And again, I love people. I love nature. I love health. I love the spiritual things, like really working on my evolution. I have visited a guru from India who has been underwater like for a week or something like that, like that's my stuff. Like I have walked through this spiritual awakening journey, meditation retreats, um like all these gatherings, this cold bath of what else? Cacao ceremonies. I have facilitated cacao ceremonies, all of those things. Like, that's your girl right here. And at the same time, I'm an international business graduate, right? I love listening to the investment news every morning. I have invested in stocks, into bonds, into crypto, right? Like, that's what I do. And currently I'm looking into investing in real estate, and it's both business and spirituality, or spirituality and business, health and wealth, right? It is being full spectrum. That's what we're here for. And I just want to let you know you are safe here with me. If you are leaning more towards that side, if you are making money and you want more of the spiritual upgrade, you're welcome and you're at the right place. If you're coming more from the spiritual part and you want to grow into more of the wealth pod and more of the lifestyle pod, and really being comfortable in walking in, yeah, these network events and things like that, you know I can help you with that too. That's really the thing. Like, let's be really holistic wealth besties over here. Like, this is a place where I want you to feel safe with everything. You are a perfect spiritual if you want to make millions, right? I haven't made the millions yet. I'm on my way, right? I'm like not on my way, like I'm doing it right now as we speak. But like, if you know that you are on your way to being the first millionaire of your family, you're welcome here, right? If you know that you are the meditation person, everything about energetics, everything about the quantum field, everything about quantum jumping, mindset, and emotional work, spiritual work, being a spiritual, even having, maybe working with deities, right? Having a matron goddess, having a higher self, having an Ori. If you're on that spectrum and you want to create wealth, come into my spaces. That's it. That's really the Sunday afternoon rant, or not rant, just sharing, right? Like, that's just what we do. And I want you to feel good. And also, maybe I'm going to create another one, cramping everything in. Oh God. But this is an evening with me. Like, this is how you're gonna feel when you're in my spaces more. Ah, one of the biggest things, and this is what I will leave you with for today. One of the biggest resentments I have is if you don't know who you are, and if you try, listen, if you try to just get into one space and you think that this is the space, then you're probably mistaken. Like if you're as multifaceted as I am, of course, you have to have like a proven system of how you created from this to this, right? Or some kind of proof of concept for your product. But in general, let's speak about you as a person first before we speak about you as a business owner or as a product or a brand. One thing that I realize is when I try to squeeze myself, just one aspect of me into something, I always lost, because it's literally you're squeezing yourself into a job, even if it's a like high paying job, so called. Like the last job I was in sales, so it was quite decent, but it's still, it wasn't my full capacity. And I know the same thing is with, it goes for you. You're probably in a career, like as I said, you are a baddie, you're educated, you're trained, you're skilled, but you don't want more. And I think if you are somewhere, you're squeezed in to this one role, it's not you, and you feel like you're cutting off parts of you, whether it be your like your emotional part or your creativity, your personality, your fashion, your other interests. You're not whole. And that's why I believe it is our time as women to create these empires. Like literally, if you feel the calling to create your next level, like a business or a next level life on all levels of life, welcome. Welcome to the spot. I can show you how. Um, but what I want to say is you will always feel, of course, like people say, you don't fit in because you're too big, right? You already have way too much. And the thing, let me tell you, this is really what has fucked me up. And I believe that this is the thing that also like next to my dad's death, this has been the accumulation of resentment because I thought it was like a subconscious block because I thought I am too much. I held parts of myself back. So when I was walking, let's say in this more chic, like I used to date this guy. He's a millionaire. He's like a A-list celebrity, and I used to date him, and I thought like he's probably not going to be able to really handle this part of me. Yeah, but also like other parts, you know, like yeah, there's so much shadow can be everywhere. Shadow and denial and not really owning who you are and and sharing who you are could be in every area of life. But like for simplicity's sake, like there was more this part. So he was like this person, he was visible, he was always on the go, go, go. He was successful. He then took me out into his circles. And because I didn't even tell him about like all of the things that I am over here, I thought I would have to cut it off. So I never really showed who I am fully. I didn't fully speak up for everything that I don't like, that I don't agree with, and things like that. So I didn't fully show up as myself. And you know what? And this is the point that I want to make here is that I felt like I got exploited. I got exploited because I didn't say, this is what I want. I hope it makes sense. I don't know if it's the like the right logical approach to this point, but it has left me exploited. It has left me also with the jobs, right? Like even though okay, here I'm here for this role, but it has left me exploited. This is not what I want. Like this, I can't do this, but I can't do so much more. And you don't see it. And this is what I know that that's not what we human beings are made for. We're not made to compartmentalize us ourselves. This is how you actually get sick, right? When it's called the fractures or the compartmentalization of yourself, right? You're only this person over here, then you're a different person over here, you're a different person over here. And every time, yeah, it is a part of you. You're not lying, but you're not bringing your full self. Just like Jay-Z said, like every room I walk in, I'll come out as my full self. That's the goal. That's exactly how you have to do it. And that is work, like this can be trauma work, it is inner child work, it is emotional work, it is like many healing modalities to become whole. That is the whole concept of individuation, of coming into wholeness, right? It's a whole psychological approach to come into wholeness and daring to show up as yourself, right? Especially on the internet or on any big platform or in any room, right? Because probably one room that you walk into will only represent one facet of what you also are. That is how I felt. Like I am this rainbow colored spectrum, and this job only like resonates with my red. Let's say that this job is red. I have red, so let me put my red in here. What about the rest of the rainbow? I can't really show the rest of my rainbow here in the red. Then maybe the friendship or the family is the green, right? The heart. So in my family, I can show the green, but maybe even in your family, you can't show the rest of your colors. I see your true colors. That's why I love you. So don't be afraid. True colors, true colors, true colors, true colors. Right? Like that's what it is. We want to be free. We want to express everything we are, and we want to shine in all of the rays of the rainbow, just like this Pink Floyd pyramid thing where the light hits the pyramid, the prism, and it breaks into this color spectrum. That's who we are, right? That's who we are. And we want to shine all of our light like the full spectrum human being. This is what I help you to become when you come into my world. And yeah, I think that's so beautiful. The point that I was trying to make, and I want to make it again before I wrap it up. I believe if you don't become all of who you are, you will constantly feel exploited, and you will constantly feel like you are like undervalued, because you have so much more to bring. You have so much richness. There's so much more potential, so much more resources inside of you that needs to be tapped into, or that you want other people to tap into. That's for me too. Like I remember also like dating this guy. I said to him, like, I can help you. Oh, yeah. I said, I can help you. And what I actually meant by that is like tap into my resources. I can assist you because I have so much to offer. And I believe we want that. I believe that we as human beings, we want to be used. Yeah, not in the toxic way, but we want to be, that is why I'm saying like become a brand, become a household name, become a product, become a brand, because you want to offer your services. You want to offer the red, the gold, the green. You want to offer the violet and the orange. You want to offer the full spectrum of who you are. And I believe that that's what it is, what that we want. And we live in a time and space where we can do that. And I think if you are already like this full spectrum human being, there is no other way than to create a brand for yourself, and yeah, to make that big money. So yeah, don't feel like, if you feel it, I know, girl, if you are here and you're listening until this point, I know that you're feeling this resentment. Be honest with yourself. You have played small. You have allowed others to put yourself in a box because you didn't dare to correct them and say like, no, actually, that is not everything that I do. I am so much more like ABCD3. Okay. So I think it's very important that we actually really see ourselves as a big marketplace, multifaceted, multi-passionate, become our own store, right? Because you're not only selling apples, you are selling a fruit truck, right? You are a whole food truck. Maybe you are a whole grocery Trader Joe, organic farmers market shop, right? Or a luxury shop, right? You're that. You're a whole shop. That is me. Like that is literally me. I am a transformational university. Whatever you need, I have the tools. Trust me. Yeah, like that is true. Like whatever you need, I've got it. Do you want some breath work? Let's go. You need it. I see it. I do it. You need a you need a gut cleanse. You need a gut cleanse. You got to do that first. I'm going to tell you, right? You need to journal. You need to create some more gratitude lists. I got you, like it is everything. That's why I think it is something that holistic. I'm a holistic teacher or a holistic practitioner. Um, that's why we have to have our own platforms. I have to speak for myself. And the same thing is for you. Like you're probably this shop as well. And if you are not claiming that big space and say, like, that's my shop, that's who I am, you will feel a resentment because all the time a part of you is cut off. All the time you're not showing all of you. So you're leaving potential on the table, and it doesn't make you happy, it doesn't make you healthy, and it will definitely also not create the life of your dreams for yourself, because it is beautiful and it is healthy and it makes you happy to share your full array of light. You want that. And also, if you do that, the people who love you, they will find you. Only then. It's a cliche, but that's exactly how it is. And I want you to trust in that. And again, if you want my help, come on over to joanafatondji.com, book a strategy session. You will walk out of that strategy session with so much clarity. And if you're ready to really fully jump, take the plunge into transformation, let's see how we can get you rolling. Okay. So, girlfriend, I hope you did something productive while listening to me, because that's what I do when I listen to other people. Clean the house, go on a walk, or whatever. And I hope that I got some motivation in your ear, a little story time, a little storytelling, a little motivation, hopefully, a little realness, rawness. Like this is the Healthy Baddie Club. This is the Healthy Baddie Club. Welcome to Healing into Femininity, where the growth will be endless. That's one of the number one values over here. It's about growing, it's about learning, it's about expanding yourself forever and ever until we leave this earth suit. And yeah, I want you to come on that journey. My vision is to create 1,000 millionaires, like 1,000 first-time millionaires, or 1,000 millionaires being the first millionaires from their bloodline or from their ancestry. And yeah, really create this Healthy Baddie Club. Like, because and this is what I've always believed, it is not lonely at the top. It is not lonely at the top, because the higher you go, the more love you feel, and you will meet people that are there as well. There are people up here who are the most loving people. As I said in the beginning, we're all queens in our own right. Yeah. And you will not, that's a beautiful German saying. Like, you will not like I don't even know how to translate it, but I'm going to say it in German. Du brichst dir keinen Zacken aus der Krone, wenn du nach Hilfe fragst. Like, you're not gonna break you're like, if with the crown as a queen, like you have this right? So you're not gonna break off like this thing. You're not gonna break it off by asking another queen for help. That is queen mindset, right? You're going to ask for the help. You're going to you're going to make the purchase, or you're going to make the transaction. You're going to invest in yourself. You're going to be humble. You're going to learn because you see that person has really figured it out, and you're just going to sit at her feet. That's what I did multiple times. Like, I have no problem with sitting at the feet of women that I know that are really good at what they do. Like I have, yeah, I always and proudly say, like, I have invested like all of my wealth up until now. Like, of course, not all of my wealth because it's infinite, but the majority of my investments in the past 10 years went not into stocks or bonds or crypto, but into my personal, spiritual, emotional, energetic, financial empowerment. And I regret it zero because I love who I am. And I love to be the founder of the holistic baddie club. the the healthy baddie club, right? So, girlfriend, again, take your tea, take your water, and let's sit here and be queens in our own right. You don't have to become me, I don't have to become you. So that's not what it's about. But let's rise and shine together and really exchange the goods. Okay? So much love. I really enjoyed this, and probably there's going to be more like that because that's really my style. But if you want me to create content around specific things you want to learn, maybe how to create habits, how to create really like a higher self-esteem, whatever, how to break free from the fear of judgment or whatever, like let me know what you want to hear about, and then I will definitely do it. Like, and if you're ready, like, and that's really what I can say. This is content for free. It's going to help you just to be in my energy. I know that. But also be clear, like that's the kind of woman that I am, and I assume that you are that person too. Like I was the one who I didn't have a home. I didn't have my own apartment. I had very little money in physical form. But I said, I want this life coaching training, and I'm going to become a coach now. Okay, so how do I manifest $12,000? That's the kind of woman that I was and still am. And that's also the woman that I love working with. That's her. Yeah. So I know that you're gonna make it happen because you want results quick. You want results quick. You want to be her tomorrow, right? Or yesterday, right? Or yeah, maybe in a week, right? Let's be a little patient. So that is me, that is you, and you're worthy. Like you deserve it. And like again, in terms of return on investment, let me be real. Like you will make more money after you invested in a program with me. So on so many levels it will just pay off. But again, I am also not someone who wants to convince anybody, because I know that you don't need convincing. Oh my God, we don't want that. I don't want to convince you, and I don't, like, me personally, I don't need to be convinced. I see you, and either I like you or not. So that's it. All right, honey. Have a beautiful Sunday. I'm gonna drink a tea now and just relax and watch the sunset. I hope you do the same too. And until then, again, welcome to the Healthy Baddie Club, and stay dangerous as always. Bye bye.